Welcome back, everybody. Ready to dive into something pretty different today?
Different good, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so. We're going to be looking at the connection between something ancient, medieval guilds,
Wow.
and AI implementation.
Huh. Okay. So, like knights and algorithms.
Kind of. You know how guilds were all about like masters, apprentices, and really controlling knowledge?
Yeah, keeping the secrets under lock and key.
Exactly. And the video we're looking at today makes the case that this kind of thinking is still around, especially when it comes to tech and AI.
Makes you wonder, are we still in the digital dark ages or something?
Right. I mean, so much of AI depends on people, like training it and making sure it's used the right way.
Oh, absolutely. AI isn't just plug and play.
So could these old school power structures actually be holding us back?
It really makes you think. Like instead of blacksmiths, we've got data scientists or developers, and the knowledge they have is kind of like that secret forge.
Oh, I see what you mean. So it's less about the AI itself being the problem and more about how we're approaching it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Think about it. A company wants to build this awesome AI customer service system, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But if the tech team building it is like a guild, they might not even talk to the actual customer service
The
people.
ones who actually deal with the customers every day.
Yeah. It'd be like making a super high-tech suit of armor without ever asking the knight how it actually needs to work.
They end up with something that looks impressive but totally misses the mark.
Exactly. The presentation even calls it digital feudalism. Like some people have all the power and knowledge.
Wow. Digital feudalism, that's a powerful image.
It is. And this is where agile values come in. It's like the opposite of that whole guild mentality.
Okay, agile, I hear that word a lot, but honestly, I'm kind of fuzzy on how it actually works.
Well, at its core, Agile is about knocking down those walls and saying, hey, let's all work together.
Okay.
It's about transparency, collaboration, everyone understanding what's going on.
So it's not just a new way to manage, it's like a whole new way to think about work itself.
You got it. And the presentation dives into how this can actually help with AI too.
Interesting. So how does that work? Like, what are some specific things that Agile encourages?
Well, for example, instead of having these separate teams like developers over here, data scientists over there, Agile says bring them all together.
Oh, okay, so you have everyone who needs to be involved in the same room from the very beginning.
Precisely.
Oh,
And that helps avoid those situations where the AI is amazing technically, but totally misses the mark in the real world.
that makes a lot of sense. So instead of the AI masters calling all the shots, it's more of a team effort.
Exactly. And because AI is always changing and evolving, that kind of teamwork becomes even more important.
So it's about being flexible, adaptable, and open to new ideas. Right.
Absolutely. That's the agile mindset in a nutshell.
You know, this is making me think about like my own workplace. Do you see these signs of digital feudalism or that kind of guild thinking in a lot of companies?
Honestly, yeah, I do, though it's not always on purpose. It's more like companies just haven't figured out a better way to do things yet.
So they're kind of stuck in those old habits.
Yeah, and the thing is, in the age of AI, that's not just inefficient, it can really put them at a disadvantage.
Wow. So it's not just about doing things better. It's about like survival.
Exactly. And what's cool is that Agile can actually make work more fun and rewarding for everybody.
Oh, how so?
Well, when you're not just a cog in the machine, but part of a team where everyone have a voice, it's more engaging.
Makes sense. It's like that old saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Exactly. And when it comes to AI, we definitely want to go far together.
Couldn't agree more. So it sounds like Agile isn't just about building better AI, it's about building better workplaces too.
That's the beauty of it. It's about changing the way we work, collaborate, share knowledge.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like one company or one project.
hmm
It could actually change like our whole society.
I think so, yeah. It's exciting to think about.
It really is. We've covered a lot of ground already. I'm curious to hear more about some of those specific Agile tools and techniques that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah, we've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
The presentation dives into some great examples.
Perfect. Let's dig into those.
So, one of the coolest Agile tools is this idea of like cross-functional teams.
Cross-functional. Okay,
Oh,
break that down for me.
So, you know how usually it's like the developers do their thing, testers do theirs, and it's all separate?
Yeah, kind of siloed.
Exactly. Agile's like, nope, bring them all together. Developers, testers, designers, even the people who'll actually be using the AI in the end.
So everyone's working together right from the start.
Exactly. That way, everyone's on the same page, and you avoid those knowledge silos we talked about.
That makes sense, especially for AI. It's such a complex field.
Oh, absolutely. You need the tech folks, but also people who understand the business side, the user experience, the ethics, the whole picture.
So it's not just about building a whiz-bang AI. It's got to actually be useful and used responsibly.
Right. And Agile helps with that by encouraging tons of feedback and making changes as you go.
Oh, so it's not like the old way where you work for months in secret and then bam, here's the finished product.
Nope. Agile's more like, let's do a little check in, make sure we're on track, then do a little more.
Okay, so it's a much more iterative approach. Less about perfection on the first try, more about like continuous improvement.
Exactly. And that's perfect for AI because it's such a fast moving field. What's cutting edge today might be old news tomorrow.
So you got to be nimble.
Exactly. Always learning, adapting, and making sure the AI is still relevant.
Yeah, the presentation also talked about transparency being a big part of Agile.
Oh, yeah. That's huge EE.
Right.
Transparency builds trust, you know?
Makes sense. If everyone has the same info, they can make better decisions together.
And spot problems early on. Plus, it keeps everyone accountable for doing their best work.
So it's kind of like instead of knowledge being this thing that gives you power over others.
It becomes a tool for everyone to use.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like we're finally breaking free from that old guild mentality where knowledge was hoarded and used for control.
Right. It's a whole new way of thinking, and honestly, a much healthier one, especially when it comes to AI.
It's like instead of being afraid of AI or trying to control it too tightly.
We're saying, hey, let's figure this out together. Let's make sure AI is a force for good for everyone.
I like that. It's not about us versus them. It's about humans and AI working side by side.
Exactly. And that leads to something the presentation calls digital empowerment.
Ooh, digital empowerment sounds promising. Tell me more.
Basically, it's about making sure everyone in a company, and not just the tech wizards, has the knowledge and tools to contribute to AI projects.
Okay, so it's like democratizing AI.
Exactly. Giving everyone a seat at the table. And that's where those agile principles come in again. Collaboration, transparency, continuous learning. They all help create that environment where everyone can be part of the AI revolution.
I love that idea. So it's not just about the tech, it's about empowering people.
Exactly. It's about creating a future where AI benefits everyone, not just a select few.
This is all very inspiring, but I'm sure some listeners might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually make it happen?
That's a great question. And honestly, the presentation dives into that too. It has tons of practical tips and real-world examples of companies using Agile to actually transform their work culture and do some amazing things with AI.
So it's not just pie-in-the-sky idealism, it's stuff that's working right now.
Exactly. And that's why I think this presentation is so important. It's a roadmap, you know?
Yeah.
It shows us how we can use Agile to navigate the AI world in a way that's good for everyone.
Wow, this has been an eye-opener. Thanks for breaking it all down. It's amazing how those seemingly unrelated things like medieval guilds and modern AI are actually so connected.
Isn't it? And what's even cooler is how Agile gives us a way forward, you know? It's like we can learn from the past and actually build a better future.
I love that. So if someone's listening and they're like, okay, I'm convinced, Agile sounds awesome. What's my first step?
Mhm.
What would you tell them?
Honestly, I'd say watch the presentation. It's packed with even more details and specific guidance.
Awesome. We'll make sure to include a link in the description. I'm excited to keep learning more about this.
You know, it's funny, right? Like we talk about all this cool new tech, AI, Agile,
Yeah.
but people, we're creatures of habit.
Oh, yeah. We like what we know.
Big time. And change, especially when it comes to how we work, how we think, it can be kind of scary.
Makes sense. It's like, whoa, this is shaking things up.
Exactly. And AI, I mean, that's a whole other level.
Oh, yeah.
People are worried about jobs, about machines taking over, all that.
Yeah. Those are some big existential questions.
Definitely. And that's why I think what we've been talking about, this whole shift to collaboration, transparency, putting humans at the center of it all,
Right.
it's more important than ever. We got to make sure that AI benefits everyone, not just the tech elite.
Exactly. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about figuring out how they can work together.
Yes, exactly. And that's where Agile shines, you know? It's not about replacing people.
It's about giving people the tools to do even more.
Right. Like instead of fearing AI, we can use it to enhance what we're already good at.
I like that.
Hmm.
Augmenting our abilities instead of diminishing them.
Yeah, that's the idea. And the presentation has some awesome examples of companies doing exactly that.
Oh, like what?
Well, remember we talked about that customer service chatbot?
Yeah, the one where in an Agile setup, the customer service people would actually help train it.
Exactly. They'd be partners with the AI, not afraid of getting replaced by it.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
The chatbot's better, the customers are happier, and the employees feel valued.
You got it. That's the power of Agile, It creates this positive feedback loop where everyone benefits.
So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about, like, changing the whole culture around it.
Absolutely. We can have all the fancy algorithms in the world,
Right.
but if we don't have the right mindset, the right values, then AI could easily become a problem, not a solution.
That's a sobering thought.
It is, but it's also a reminder that we have a choice.
Yeah. We get to decide how this all plays out. It's not inevitable.
Exactly. And that's what this whole deep dive has been about, right? It's not enough to just like adopt AI.
Got to do it the right way with the right approach.
Yes. Collaboration, transparency, always learning, respecting what humans bring to the table.
Those are the keys.
They are. And if we can embrace those values, then I really think AI can help us create a future that's better for everyone.
I love that vision. So to everyone listening, let's take what we've learned today and put it into action, right?
Yes. Let's challenge those old ways of thinking, those guild mindsets.
Let's be open to new ideas, new ways of collaborating.
And let's remember that the future of AI, it's not something that just happens to us. It's something we create together.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this incredible deep dive.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all our listeners, don't forget to check out that video presentation. We'll have the link in the description. It's full of even more amazing insights about Agile and AI.
It really is a must-watch.
Absolutely. So until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Thanks for listening.